everything.
That's actually true, man. I can't argue with that.
Yeah. Fucking Polish economic migrant.
I know, right? Ignoramus.
But the nice thing is, we can laugh at ourselves.
Well, of course.
If you can't laugh, that's when you take it serious, and that's when you get trouble.
Yeah,
for
man,
real.
if you get upset from the insults of others, you give them the power to
It all depends
over your
what,
own
what
will.
type of insult it is. If it's an insult to hurt you, deliberately, if it's a laugh, and you're laughing with it, we're laughing together, not hatred laughter, then the world's a better place for it.
Right. Anyway, let me tell you guys a story and tell me what you think about it. So I read this one in a very good book that I read in Portugal. Anyway, the story is about the two men and the well. One man fell inside of a well. He can't get out of the well. He gets in panic. He thinks he's going to die. He thinks nobody's going to save him. He screams, he shouts, he asks for help, he's in complete panic. Another man comes around the well and throws a rope down for the man who's inside of the well.
Yeah, right.
He shouts instructions, what to do to get out of the well. The man who's inside the well listens to the instructions, but he can't think about them. He's in too much of a panic to actually understand exactly what it means, but he does exactly what the other guy says.
Yeah.
He doesn't think about it, he just does it immediately, just to save himself.
Okay.
The man outside the well starts pulling the rope. He pulls out the man who was inside the well. He's dead. The rope is around his neck. What do you think about the story?
Well, what's the allegory of it?
I'll answer that question in one.
The allegory is, if you put people in a situation in which they're desperate enough, they'll accept any conditions you set just for the promise of saving them.
Yeah, right. Makes sense.
But that is like this. This is your captain speaking. Your captain is dead. Work that one out.
This is your captain, the new captain, the next person in the chain of command.
He's thinking right. This is your captain speaking. Your captain is dead.
Or
he's working at the same as the well, the same sort of thing, scenario in the well, because the first captain's died. You've got a captain in command, and now he's become captain.
Yeah.
And he's going over to the tannoy, saying, "This is your captain speaking. Your captain is dead." There's always something in life where we can split hairs. We can say, "Oh, this and that," but you know, and I know, if you understand what we're talking about, it makes it a better world.
It's very good that you gave the example of a captain, of a military figure, because in the military, the allegory of the two men and the well is the only truth. If you don't trust the person over you on the chain of command, you're dead. And even if you do trust the person above you, you might still be dead.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what warfare is.
Well,
you know, I played some games about strategy games about war. I read a lot about battles throughout history. One thing that gets that is very obvious is that you sacrifice the weaker units. You sacrifice some of your soldiers sometimes as meat shields to get the more elite soldiers in the right position to strike at the enemy and to win the battle. Which means you're sending people to certain death.
Well,
but you need to do it to win the battle, because if you don't, everyone will die.
Well,
it's a very, very, very...
I'll give you a true scenario, a very
situation.
true fact.
I'm late tonight.
I'll give you a true fact. My grandfather, his name was John Greenwood. I'm Wolsey. He was never married to his wife because he was enlisting in the 1914 war. He enlisted 4 times. He was a machine gunner. He came back with shrapnel in him. He was an entrepreneur, my grandfather. He helped do the Northern Line, tunnelling, build the Northern Line. He had shops, my grandfather, in Islington. And he always said to my dad, "War's no good, son," because obviously he had shrapnel in him. He saw what a machine gun could do, cut people down. And that was my grandfather. And I suppose, but in a way, I've got that bit of my grandfather in me, because I'm always standing up and be counted. Blessed is the peacemaker. I've stopped many people from harming or hurting people, but that's in me. And wars definitely are no good. And you know, you've read a lot about war, haven't you? And what's the thing you mainly have studied, would you say?
The main thing about wars...
Yeah, that you've studied.
The most important thing I could say about wars is that they are the main thing that shifts the course of history.
Definitely.
There's nothing that shifts history as much as wars do.
Yeah, with pain, suffering, death and destruction. And a lot of people gave their lives, which I'm very proud that they did that. My grandfather, obviously, and a lot of people did die. And we wouldn't have freedom and democracy if it wasn't for them people. So when it comes to Poppy Day, let's hope we support a poppy for people, because them people, there's a lot of people who are dead, and that is why the poppy is the symbol, because that was on the battleground. I think it was First World War, and there's a lot of people out there who need supporting, whether they're young soldiers today, wherever, because we need, blessed is the peacemaker, and soldiers can be peacemakers, as you know. You know,
I heard
sometimes
of a saying that the First World War started with cheers, and the Second World War started with regrets, with people crying because they knew what was coming, because they saw what went over in the First World War. It was a slaughter in a monumental scale, never before seen by mankind. It was almost industrial killing of people.
But don't forget, there was a lot of horses.
With all that.
A massive amount of horses,
died
in
the First World War.
Because that was a transport to transport guns,
of course.
ammunition, food, field kitchens, whatever. But so there was, if it wasn't for the horse, I think a lot of wars would not have been fought, because to fight a war you need horses and you need transport. For whatever reason, whether it's wrong, whether it's right, we can't say, but thank God that people out there did fight for us. My grandfather and his relatives, and there's a lot of young people coming back who need help, and we should help as many people as we can, because by helping people it makes it a better world for ex-servicemen, people who've been injured, and we can talk and let them people even come and talk, because sometimes they need to talk, not be shut away. When you get a soldier who's seen something, what do they say? The best medicine is to talk and to, or I mean, you know about Vietnam. You know about Vietnam? A lot of them used to come back from Vietnam and go and living in the woods.
Yeah.
Because they had wanted nothing to do with human beings again, because of the horrors of war.
Yeah.
So it's not a thing you can't say is an easy thing for anyone.
I think nowadays especially war ravages people much more than it did previously.
Well,
in the ancient times or in the medieval and Middle Ages or throughout history,
but
up until First World War.
Are you familiar with a song called? You must have heard this. I saw your red door and I want it painted black, no other colours. You know that song? I see a line of cars and they're all painted black. Do you know what that song's about? That song is about Vietnam, a soldier coming back. And you've heard of this one. You ever heard the Monkees song? Take the last train to Clarksville, you can be there by 5:30. Oh no no no, oh no no no, and I don't know if I'm ever coming back. And that's about the Vietnam War, Clarksville. And there's quite a lot of, I think there's even one, you remember this one?
Probably not, but go ahead.
You remember this one? And it's by Bob Dylan. Hey Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleeping and there's no place that I'm going to. Take me to your... And it goes on, I can't even remember the words. I normally can, but I'm stumped. I don't know why I can, but I can sing it. And that's about Vietnam. And there's a lot of songs about... You've heard this one. War! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Oh, of course
Say
I have.
it again.
Everybody knows that one.
Ain't nothing but a heartbreaker.
What is it good for? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you see,
it's in the movie.
But I appreciate the people who fought wars, because without them,
with
you
Jackie
wouldn't have
Chan
freedom.
and Chris Tucker. Very good actors, by the way. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. The movie. It's.
Listen, I've always stood up and been.
Time, something like that.
You know what I do? Yeah. I do knife amnesty.
Knife amnesty.
You know what knife amnesty is?
What is it?
I've been to Leytonstone. I've been to where was it? The Baker's Arms. I've been to Leyton. What's Leytonstone famous for? Camera?
Leytonstone.
Leytonstone famous for who? Very famous person. Photographer.
Okay. Cool.
The Americans love him. Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh. Okay.
Alfred Hitchcock came from Leytonstone, and everyone he got from his father's grocery shop and his mother's grocery shop. But he acted on every film, even if he's just walking on.
Okay.
And that's Alfred Hitchcock, loved.
Right.
You know, all these films were loved. So we learn from each other, and we can make it a better world. It doesn't have to be a bad world, and we don't have to slag people off and say he's this, she's that.
Yeah, but how do you find out what's the right direction to take in the world? How do you find out which
Well, I'd say
way to
this.
go?
I'd say this. The
What would you
right
say
way
to that?
is the righteous way that you feel. If you're doing right, that's the right way. If you're doing wrong, then don't do it.
What do you mean? If I do right, that's the right way.
Well, look, if you know...
How do you know if you're doing
Yeah,
right?
Well, you know, if I said to you, put your hand under that hot tap, you go, no, that's wrong. You know?
That's pretty obvious.
So,
yeah.
if I said, well, you know, that's right. You know right from wrong, we're taught in school. We're taught this is right, this is wrong. But if you know
That's
in
a
your
flawed
heart of
argument.
heart,
That's a flawed argument.
All right,
Listen,
what do you
if
mean?
You, one thing is for you to say, okay, put your hand at the stove and that's it. I'm like, no, I won't do it.
Yeah.
It's not good for me. Now,
Well-
another way of seeing it is if somebody, like your captain or whatever, commands you, okay, open that door, and like the door is red hot, but if you open it, you save a whole bunch of people. So
Yeah.
you'll get burned, but you'll save someone. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's not the same. It all depends on the situation. Whether you get burned to achieve something or you get burned just because somebody tells you to get burned because he's an asshole or whatever, it's very different to each other.
But don't
What
you
I-
know-
What I'm saying is to know what's the best thing and what's not the best thing to do.
Sometimes I've
It's
done...
very difficult to find out.
Yeah, sometimes I've done things where I know I could get killed or be dead, you know, and I think, well, I know I'm doing right. I'm willing to
How do
take-
you know that?
Well, when I'm doing knife amnesty, things like that, you know, I do it because I know that someone could pull a knife and stick a knife in me. But I can't be frightened of that. Because if I'm going to be frightened, I might as well never do anything. You know,
You might do something else.
yeah, we could do.
You might go into politics and create new laws that will manage knife crime better.
but
that
we
will
can-
integrate
we
the
can-
people who do knife crime in society.
But do you know, most people are stealing the kitchen knives from the magnetic things or the blocks, which end up stabbing people on the streets. And this is what we're saying, knife awareness. And my friend Courtney and my other colleagues I work with, I do it not because I want about me.
Okay, so
it's
what
to
do you
make
do?
it a
What
better
exactly
world.
do you do?
A better world. We go up, we give people, and we go and tell them, we give them leaflets as a website, and we say, look, most of them will never take the piece of paper. They never. I'll go, look, please take it. If you know someone's carrying a knife, whether it's your son, daughter, or a friend, please take it. We can make it a better world. It doesn't have to be a bad world. It can be a good world. And when it's a good world, everyone enjoys it. When it's a bad world, then we get the world we don't deserve.
I see.
Do you follow?
I follow. I understand what you do. That's very nice. But do you really think it will change anything? I mean, people who commit knife crime commit it for a reason.
Well,
They live in a specific environment which encourages that kind of behavior.
All right, then.
So you're not influencing the environment at all. You're telling them don't do knife crime
No,
because
no,
it's
but
bad.
I've
They
got-
already know about it.
I've
They
got
will
something.
keep doing it because they feel like there's something to gain from it. For example, they need to defend themselves from other people who have knives.
All right, I've got
The only
something.
way of solving it is to solve the whole situation from the
All right.
origin. of
I've
it.
got something to say. Right now, when I used to go to my flight club,
the problem.
who would be at the flight club? Mr. Alan Sugar having his dinner. Now I'd leave Mr. Alan Sugar doing his own thing, right? When I go to my flight club, and he's an entrepreneur. Now I know the Victorians did believe that things used to be under lock and key. Now this is my fact. My fact is you can have a knife safe made out of solid oak, or you can make it out of metal. Now Boris, you've got a problem with knife crime. If you want to get
Boris
in touch,
Johnson?
yeah, Boris Johnson. If you want to get in touch with me, maybe we can invent this thing where you lock away knives in a knife safe
It's
made
not
out of
gonna
oak
help.
or metal.
It's not going to help.
Well,
People need knives
if
in their
you- yeah,
daily
but
life. You
if
need
you've
to
got-
teach
if you've got-
people how to manage those knives. You can't just take knives away, man. It's
Yeah,
necessary.
Yeah, but if the knives
What's
are
next?
exposed,
Forks?
no,
Spoons?
but look, you've got to look at it logically. If someone
Butter
breaks
knives?
into your place
Yeah.
and you've got knives hanging up
Yeah.
rather than in a knife safe,
Okay.
people can use them as a weapon to stab you to
Okay.
death. And you might go,
Yeah, but
"Oh,
probably I know better where the knife is, and if I start opening the safe, probably the person who breaks in the room already has a knife or some kind of weapon. Because
No.
why would they break in the room if they have
the
no
Japanese
weapon?
always believe that knives or sharp things should be under. Never.
what?
It's a bad thing to have open knives
Okay,
and open
sure.
swords or whatever. So there's
Nothing to do with
always
the problem.
no, but that goes back in history. If you've got things exposed, if you had a gun there, and someone disagreed with you, and they might go, "There's a gun. I'm going to shoot him." You understand?
Yeah, but you don't use the gun to cut your vegetables.
No, we know that.
The gun is not a daily
but
daily
you see-
thing that you use for your
But
I shoot my
necessities.
carrots every day.
Oh yeah, I
So do
just
I.
go ahead and shoot that damn pineapple open.
Okay,
then
buddy,
eat the pieces.
you better believe
a
it, man.
shotgun.
Bada bing, bada boom. You know, I'm going to shoot my carrots, man. You know. No, but listen, honestly.
Let's shoot myself some carrots.
Yeah. No, but honestly, we know it's a thing to cut up vegetable, but wouldn't it be nice if we had a knife safe? You've heard it from me, Lord Rock and Roll Mark, right? Boris, if you want to go half and develop it, we'll have half and make it a better world. A nice little thing where you lock the knives away in an oak one or a metal one. So Boris, there's knife crime out there. It doesn't have to be knife crime. But
Are
listen,
you serious?
I'm very serious
A
because
safe.
yeah,
A
but
safe will stop knife crime.
within
This
reason.
sounds almost as preposterous as the MP
No.
who wanted to put
No.
sensors
No, but
inside
look,
of knives to know,
Where do you
GPS
think-
inside
where
of knives
them-
to know where each of them
Where
is.
do you think them children get them knives from? Their mum's kitchen drawer.
Are you seriously saying that children are committing most of the knife crimes?
Well, they're 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. There's a
Yeah,
percentage.
it sometimes
yeah.
happens, but it's
Yeah.
mostly like in problematic environments, in problematic neighborhoods that people
So-
are raised in a very, dangerous environment.
Well,
and it's not
wouldn't
being
it be
fixed
nice-
at all.
wouldn't it be
the
nice
situation is not
if-
being fixed.
if they're less
and they're
obtainable?
using knives to sometimes even defend
If they're
themselves.
less freely available. If they're
Oh,
in a
come
knife
on.
safe. Well, yeah, but these youngsters are going to get hold of dad's knife or mum's knife. If they're in a safe, it's got to cut down, surely.
What about a screwdriver?
Oh,
Well,
what about needles?
well, your tools, you lock
What
them
about
away.
forks?
Well, you lock them away.
What
in a
about
toolbox.
scissors?
Yeah, but you'd have.
What about pointed sticks?
Oh, thank you.
He's thinking Monty Python.
What about Legos? When you step on them, really hurts,
All
man,
right.
dangerous.
What about do nothing? What he says. What about let's do nothing?
Bro, you have to implement
Let's do
laws,
nothing.
implement the rules, change the environment in which people
Well,
are
you
killing
can't
each other
change
with
it
knives.
overnight. That's
Of
why
course
I'm
not.
saying
You need to start
might-
thinking how to
It's like
change
safety
it.
belts. People never used to wear
First of
safety
all,
belts.
you need to know who's doing the knife
Listen,
crime.
Pete-
Secondly of all, you need to know why are they doing the knife crime. After you
I
know
know
those
that.
two
I know
things,
that.
and you have the
I
power
understand that.
over those people,
Yeah.
you can fix the situation
But look at it this
slowly
way.
but surely.
Look at it this way.
Nothing saves
Before
them.
safety belts, people wasn't
What
compulsory.
safety belts?
In a car, a lot of people used to die. Now they don't. Why? Because they wear safety belts. So someone has to put a
Cannot be
structure.
serious. You can't compare the
Well,
two.
of course you can. If
Can't compare
you've
them.
got knives readily available, a child can come up and go, I'm going to stab that person. Yes, it's a fact. The chances are.
Because they put 5 points on their driving.
Listen, no, but there's
Put
telling
safety
you.
belts on knives.
No,
fucking
he's
hell.
being silly now. But what it is,
I'm
safety
being
belts.
silly, you're being silly.
No, safety belts save lives.
Okay, bro.
So if
All
you
I
put the
can
knives,
say- all-
you
all I
put the
can
knives
tell
in a
you
knife
is-
safe.
Good luck.
No, in the knife
Good luck.
safe.
I hope the safe.
Well, if I ever make a few quid, I'll give you a few quid. Right, I'm done. Lovely. It's good. We've got to make.
Can't take away everything
From your humility.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen.
And there was a thing at the end of the book where I was reading it, the Gulag Archipelago, where the guy said, Solzhenitsyn said something that makes me shiver, man. He said, you get it right. Unless man makes efforts to constrain the malevolence within his heart, entire human history has been